waiting. It was usually a good time for the children when Ma was at home. First, there would be the excitement of waiting for her to arrive, and then the flurry of greetings, hugs, and news. Later, Ma would open her case and bring out the presents she had been saving for the family. On her day off in the city, she sometimes went to jumble sales to buy the clothes the white people no longer wanted. Then would follow the pleasure of days when Ma would be around the house, helping Nona with her work or playing with Dineo, and always ready to listen to the children's stories about what they had been doing. But this time was different, like the time when Ma came just after Ra died. The 3 days of waiting before Ma had to return to the hospital passed slowly. The grown-ups didn't speak of their worst fear, although Naledi saw the heavy, worried look in their eyes. Each morning, Tiro asked Ma how much longer it was until she had to collect Dineo. Then, after he had helped bring the water, he would go off to play for short periods, but Naledi preferred to stay all the while at home with Ma. On the 4th day, Ma set off very early, alone. She had borrowed just enough money from a neighbor to pay for her bus fare to and from the hospital. That day seemed to pass even more slowly. Tiro stayed right outside the house, fiddling with a piece of wire, changing its shape many times, and then using it to draw in the sand. When Naledi wasn't busy, she came and sat on the doorstep, gazing out at the road. She forced her mind to stay blank, just searching the distance for any figures coming from the direction of the big road, where the bus would stop. She didn't want to think about what was happening in the hospital, because it would bring back the picture of the plastic bag. From time to time, Naledi would see the vague shape of a woman appear with a baby wrapped to her back, but as she came closer, Naledi would see it wasn't Ma. It was late in the afternoon when at last there was a figure which really did seem to be Ma. Naledi called out to Nono, who was in the house, and she and Tiro began racing up the dusty road. "It's Ma! It is!" Tiro shouted as they ran. "Dineo is on her back!" Naledi panted. As the two children came sprinting towards her, Ma stopped and turned a little so they could see their sister. As the children greeted her, she gave a shy smile, resting her head on Ma's shoulder. "She's still quite weak, but her fever has gone," said Ma. With Naledi and Tiro either side of her, Ma walked onto the house. Manwane came up the road, calling out in delight. Nono remained at the door, holding onto the side for support. "My child," she whispered, as she put out her hand to touch Dineo's head.